Myles Garrett is one of the few draft selections that the Cleveland Browns actually got right dating back to their NFL reactivation in 1999. Drafted first overall by the Browns in 2017, Garrett has quickly emerged as the new face of the franchise, as well as one of the NFL's most prolific pass rushers. Through his first 3 NFL seasons, Garrett has recorded a whopping 30.5 sacks and 6 forced fumbles in 37 games. In other words, he's a superstar, one that the Browns should be looking to keep around for many years to come. Cleveland picked up Garrett's 5th-year option in the 2020 offseason. Up next, it's time to give him a mega extension that should easily top $100 million. But trading away a franchise-changing star in his prime is totally something the Cleveland Browns would do. So we shouldn't fully rule out the possibility of a Myles Garrett blockbuster move. Several weeks after the draft, Seattle Seahawks Reddit went crazy about a Myles Garrett trade rumor. Several football fans went absolutely crazy over it, even though there is zero confirmation whatsoever about the two sides holding trade talks. But that got us thinking. Even if it is a giant long shot, a Myles Garrett to Seattle trade actually makes sense for a variety of reasons. At first, you may have to ask why the Browns would even ponder the idea of trading Garrett. Well, I mean, you just have to look at the big picture. If Baker Mayfield can bounce back from a brutal sophomore season and assert himself as a franchise quarterback, he'll eventually receive an extension worth well over $30 million a season. That's the market for quality starting quarterbacks these days. They're also going to have to pay star running back Nick Chubb at some point, as well as stud cornerback Denzel Ward. Pro Bowl guard Joel Bitonio is on his way to a lucrative long-term deal as well, assuming the Browns are wise enough to keep him. The Browns also have Odell Beckham, Austin Hooper, and Jarvis Landry on the books long-term. So when the time comes to extend Garrett, it wouldn't shock us if the new head coach Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry are hesitant to dump that much money into one player, regardless of his talents. This is a different regime in Cleveland, and the Stefanski-Berry duo might look to follow the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots model, where they allow stars to price themselves out to the market while finding younger and cheaper replacements in the draft. At the same time, can the Browns trust Garrett to be a model player following his ugly helmet swinging incident with Rudolph? Freddie Kitchens may have allowed that kind of stuff, but Stefanski is going to have to run a much tighter ship if he wants to last longer than one season in Cleveland. And hey, the Browns can just look at what John Gruden did with Khalil Mack in 2018. He realized his defense was still awful even with the Pro Bowl pass rusher. Instead of gutting his cap space for Mack, Gruden dealt him away for a king's ransom of picks, and it's looking like it could pay off immensely. So don't fault the Browns if they take a similar route with Garrett. That brings us to the Seahawks. Thanks to Russell Wilson and the prolific passing game, the Seahawks are still an annual playoff team, but their defense has taken notable steps back in the post-Legion of Boom era. Pete Carroll just doesn't have the playmakers on this side of the ball to realistically compete for a Super Bowl. The Jadeveon Clowney trade didn't pan out as hoped, but Garrett would be a sure thing to succeed in Seattle. He's been much more consistent than Clowney, and Garrett's overall skill set is just much better. And just look at their division. The 49ers have Nick Bosa, the Cardinals have Chandler Jones, the Rams have Aaron Donald, the Seahawks have no game-changing pass rushers whatsoever. Seattle has to be all in now while Wilson is in his prime. They're good enough to make playoffs, but not good enough to win a Super Bowl. That could change if they traded for a bona fide star like Garrett. A Garrett trade would be more realistic during the 2021 offseason, with Garrett entering the final season of his rookie year. If he commences a holdout and the Browns aren't willing to meet his price, that will fuel the trade speculation. So what would the price be? Well, consider it to be very Khalil Mack-like. The Seahawks would have to give up at least 2 first-round picks, plus another couple of picks. Let's say a second and a fifth. That's a fair price for one of the league's elite defensive players, and the Browns would have enough draft capital and cap space to replace Garrett's production with multiple players. It's a win-win. So, do you think the Browns should trade Myles Garrett? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.